So for part 2 of this lesson is looking at domain and range of functions, and so we're going to look at a variety of cases, looking at tables, a mapping notation, how to find domain and range, looking at the graph, and finding domain and range here. So when you're finding domain and range, the biggest thing you got to remember is that domain is all your input values, or we say X values here. The range is always your outputs, aka your Y values. If we're given a list of points, we describe the domain and range as a list because these are considered points. They're not connected. We don't know what this function looks like, but all this is ordered pairs. And so if you were to write the domain here, what we use is a little squiggly line to represent the list of numbers. And so in this case, and we always go least to greatest when you list them out. And another thing you want to know is we do not repeat values. So if I were to write the domain here, which again is all the X values in this case, would be all the first row values, from least to greatest would be -3, -1, 0 is twice, but I'm only going to put it once because you don't list it twice, no repeated X values. And then notice the value here is 3. Now you've already probably noticed that this would not actually be considered a function because of that repeated X value here, but we can still write the domain of this relation here. Okay, so the domain would be -3, -1, 0, and 3. What the range would look like would be all the Y values. And again, least to greatest. And notice that pretty close to already lined up for you. In fact, -4, -3. The next one over would be -2. And then we have -1, 0. And so that would be the range. So if you're given table values, we list them. Same with ordered pairs, we list them. Same with mapping notation, we list them. So again, for ordered pairs, you're listing all the X values for domain and range. And so if I got this example and you're given ordered pairs, the domain from least to greatest, well, the least X value is going to be that -1, and then it looks like the next one over would be 1, +2, and +4. And so that's what the domain list would look like here. And then the range would be all the Y values. And so again, least to greatest, the furthest one looks like -5 is going to be the smallest one there. And then if I move over left to right, looks like 0 would be the next one, +2, and then +3 would be your range here. So let's take a look at one in mapping notation. Now remember, if it's listed in mapping notation, the bubble to the left represents your inputs, the bubble to the right represents your outputs. And so if I were to list the domain here, the domain is just those values that are in the bubble. And again, if I list them least to greatest, it looks like it'll be 0, 1, 4, and 9 would be the domain here. The range then would be all your outputs. And notice they looks like there's none that repeats there. So the furthest, looks like the smallest one would be that -3 that would be first, and then -2, and then -1, and it looks like 0, 1, 2, and 3. So again, when you're given table values, it's just the X values, you list it. So for tables, if I were to list these numbers least to greatest, looks like -2, 1, 3, and 5. It looks like it's in order for the rows there. The range, remember, is your Y values, and again, we don't repeat values. So if you see -3 twice, we're only going to list it once. So the range here would actually only be 2 values. It's just -3 and 3. So now I want you guys to take a moment and try to find the domain and range of these two examples. For the left one, just think of those, we didn't talk about a graph yet, but essentially those are ordered pairs. So think of those as listed points. In fact, if you wanted to, write out the points, -2, 2, that might help you out. But you can pause the video and see if you can write the domain and range of each. Good luck. So if you did continue to order the pairs here, -1, 1, looks like 0, 0, 1, -1, 2, -2, and then 3, -3. If I list those as points, the domain then would be all the x values, so -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, and 3. And then our range would be then all the y values from least to greatest. So we want to start with -3 now. So -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. So that's what you should have got for the domain for the first one. And remember, if it's a mapping notation, the first set of bubbles are your inputs, aka x values, and the second one are your outputs, aka y values. So the domain here would just be really the numbers in the left bubble, so it'd be 8, 9, 10, 13, and then the range would just be those other ones in the y value, or in the outputs there. So least to greatest would be -3, -1, and 5. So hopefully you got that one. But when we're looking at graphs here, we do a different notation. We don't list them. And the reason we don't list it if it's connected graph is because there's technically infinitely many values in between every set of integers. And so what we use is, we use what's called brackets and parentheses to describe sort of the entire interval for which that graph is contained. And specifically, we use parentheses if you see like open circles at the tail end of the graphs, or if you consider that to be a closed circle and it includes that point, we're going to use brackets. Now, probably the easiest way to describe domain here is if you think about where the furthest left this goes, because remember, domain is all the x values, and range is all your y values. And so when you're finding domain, you're thinking about what's the furthest left to the furthest right. So if I were to describe domain here, the furthest left that goes for the x value is 0. The furthest right that it goes is +5. So it's going to be 0, 5 because it includes all values between 0 and 5. And since those are kind of at the endpoints and it looks like it includes that value of 0,4 and 0,5, I don't see any open circles there necessarily. We're going to use brackets around those two values. So what that again means is that includes all values from 0 to 5, including the endpoints there. So for range, when we look at range, we want to look at the lowest it goes to the highest it goes, because range, remember, is y values, your outputs. And so if you notice for this graph, the lowest it goes is this value of 0, right? It hits the x-axis. But the highest it goes is +5. And it looks like it includes 5, and it includes 0 down here. And so since it includes it, I don't see any open circles there, it's going to be 0 to 5 as well for this range with brackets. So let's take a look at a couple more graphs because these end up being a little bit trickier than the tables, the mapping notation, and the listed pairs. So if I were to write the domain of this one, if you think about, again, farthest left to farthest right, and notice you do have closed circles here, but the farthest left this graph goes with the x value is +2. And notice that is including that, so we're going to use a bracket around 2 there. And the farthest right this graph goes is 8. And so if you notice, this graph is contained between 2 and 8 for the x values. For the range, the lowest this goes, remember range is lowest to highest, the lowest this graph goes looks like to be about -5. And since it goes through that point, we're going to assume it goes through, there's no open circles there, we're going to contain that with a bracket. And notice the highest it goes is that value of +9, and that was a closed circle. And so we're going to use the bracket on there. So that means the graph is contained between 2 and 8, the x values, and between -5 and 9 for the y values. So I want you to try these two on your own. The one thing you want to pay attention to is there is a slight open circle here. So think about how that will affect your answers here with using parentheses versus brackets. But try your best on these two examples, and we'll go over this in a few seconds. Good luck. So the first one, which is a circle, which again wouldn't be considered a function, but we can still find the domain and range here. So if you think about domain, the domain is the farthest left to farthest right. And so the farthest left the circle goes is the x value of -1. And since it kind of goes through that point, we're going to consider that to be included, so we use a bracket. So it'd be -1 to 5 bracket. Range is lowest to highest, so the lowest it goes is -3. The highest it goes is 3. And so the range here, since again that circle goes through those points, we're going to include those using brackets. And so -3 to 3 would be our answer for the range there. Now, the domain here on the right graph is a little bit trickier, but you notice the farthest left it goes is -3, and we have an open circle there. And so since that's open, we're not going to use a bracket around -3, we're going to use a parenthesis around -3 to start, because it doesn't include that value. But the farthest right it goes, notice the farthest right it goes is +1, and that's a closed circle. And so it's going to be -3, comma 1, and since it's closed, we're going to use a bracket. So you can have a combination of parentheses and brackets here. If you look at the range is the lowest it goes, and the lowest it goes, it looks like there's a couple places. It looks like a -4 and then -4, since those are the same. And it is included because it not only goes through the graph here, but it also has a closed circle at that right end point. So since we're going to contain it, we're going to use parenthesis, -4 is the lowest it goes. And the highest it goes is 0. And this is a little bit tricky to figure out whether it's a parenthesis or bracket here, but notice it's open circle right here, but as you travel to the right, it includes that value at the origin. And in fact, the graph actually goes through that value of 0. And so since the graph goes through that value, it almost trumps that open circle there and includes that value for the range. And so this would be -4 to 0, and we'd use a bracket around there. So I want you to try these two again on your own. You can pause the video and see if you can find the domain and range here. And again, notice we have some open circles to deal with, so you might have some parentheses in your answers. Good luck. So for the left one, if you try to figure out the domain, notice the farthest it goes to the left is -3, and since it's a closed circle, we're going to include it. So -3, comma. The farthest left it goes, notice, is +5. And since there's an open circle there, that means we don't include it, so we use a parenthesis. The range is the lowest to highest. And so the range here, the lowest it goes would be 0, and since that's a closed circle there, we include it. And the highest it goes is +11, but notice it's an open circle there. And so we'd have 11 with a parenthesis. The domain and range on the left graph here, notice the farthest left it goes is -3, and since it's an open circle, we use a parenthesis, -3, comma. The farthest right it goes is +3, and again, open circle, so we use -3, comma 3 with the parenthesis here to represent the domain. And then lastly, for the range, notice the lowest it goes here is -2, and again, it's an open circle, so we use a parenthesis. And the highest it goes is 4 with an open circle, parenthesis. Before we look at practicing this, there's one other example I want to show you that involves graphs that possibly go to infinity, graphs that have arrows at the tail end. So when we look at writing the domain and range of these graphs, especially ones that have arrows extending on forever, we might have infinity symbols in our mix. The one thing you want to note is we can never bound infinity. And so that means that anytime you're writing an infinity symbol in the domain and range, that there's always going to be parentheses around that infinity part. But remember, domain is farthest left to farthest right. So the farthest left this goes looks like is -4. And so and since it's an open circle there, I'm going to put a parenthesis. In the farthest right it goes, notice this arrow keeps going on forever in both directions, to the right and upwards. And so since it keeps going on and on and on forever to the right, we're going to write it goes all the way to infinity. And since we can't bound infinity, we always put parentheses around that part. So that's what the domain would look here. The range, the lowest it goes, notice, is -1. And since it's an open circle, we don't include that value. So we use parentheses, -1. But the highest it goes, notice I can't cap this function. It keeps going higher and higher and higher as this arrow extends upwards. And so that's going to shoot upwards to infinity. And again, we can't bound infinity, so we use a parenthesis there. So there might be a couple examples that have those infinity symbols in there, but if you can get those first few graphs and writing the domain and range of those, that's the expectations as far as what we're going to assess you on for class. But the rest of the time is yours to practice away. Don't forget to submit that formative assessment by the end of the day, and you guys have a glorious rest of your day. Enjoy.